Hello, beloved friends. I'm Reverend Kyra, and so delighted to talk with you about the unity way of life. In understanding who we are in Unity, and Unity Bay Area, Houston, here in League City, Texas, living on the principles that were provided by our co-founders, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, they came into Unity not seeking to create a religion, but to create a way of life that was aligned with our true spiritual essence, what they called the Christ consciousness, whether we knew it as that divine light or love or Christ demonstrated and by our way shower, Jesus the Christ, but that it was also a way of life. That as we learn unity principles and apply them into our lives and into however we live our faith journey, that we begin to live in this place where the unity way of life aligns us in every moment. We call upon the principles, we apply the tools that we've been given from unity perceptions, from teachings that are universally truth, aligned with truth, and are the laws of the universe, and then that we bring them into our life every single day, every single moment, so it becomes a living reality within us. It's a way of life because everything in our life changes. We become different as a result of living these unity principles. Our lives are transformed. We have more peace and joy and harmony. We feel our divine connection. We acknowledge and understand and live it in every way, in every moment. That means we align with every person upon this planet and recognize them as the Christ consciousness in expression, whether it's acknowledged by them, whether it's lived in full awareness or not. We still know the truth that every one of us are the spark of the divinity. We have the Christ consciousness. Are we learning how to live into that fully, how to live from that place of expression? Absolutely. But the key unity principles are still the basis on which we live. Not just that we speak this idea once a week or that we come to this and say, oh yeah, that's a good theory, but it actually becomes a living essence and way of living within us. Our first unity principle, that there is one presence and one power in the universe, and it is God and it is good, or call it love and it is good, light. It is this infinite divine awareness. And if we truly live from this principle of oneness, we cannot experience or see ourselves separate from life in any form. Whether it's the amoeba or the tree, or whether it's the cat or that's acting out, or whether it's the person that's acting out, whether it's the way that we treat all of life is recognizing that it is a part of our own self and a part of our oneness. That's just one example, small example of the way of living. And I want to talk about the unity way of living and how that impacts our ability to live in the world, but not of the world, as Jesus demonstrated. As other masters in all different traditions have demonstrated, that there is more to life beyond this outer realm that we experience with our five senses. But the way of living into it is what expresses that truth so that our lives are transformed and we transform those around us by our way of being, by inviting others into that way of living to find their own peace and harmony and joy, to live in these principles and this way of life. It becomes not that I get to my spirituality. I am the expression of a true spiritual essence and a spiritual life in all that I am. There's a congruency, a consistency, an integrity in everything that I think and everything that I feel and everything I say and everything I do. That doesn't mean we become this perfect person. It recognizes that in our humanity, we also have all kinds of different ways that thoughts occur, but they're not who I am. We have ways that our body is responding and acting in the world, but it's not who I am or what I am as a Christ consciousness. And so as we begin to live this and create this way of living, I want to give some demonstrations this week on what it is to align in that. From everything from our individual lives, from our collective life in this ministry, how do we live into these teachings? How is that demonstrated as a way of life? And how is that lived in our world in the midst of things that seem like chaos and turmoil and destructiveness and the things that seem like that don't align with truth? We still have the opportunity to have a way of living, a unity way of living that brings greater harmony, that rises above the circumstances of life and allows us to see from a higher perspective, to bring a higher awareness into everything, every moment and every experience and every interaction that we have. Excuse me. As we do this, we not only transform ourselves, but our world, not by just what we're saying and doing, by who we're being, by what vibration we're living, what frequency we carry and spread through the world, because that's why it's a way of life. It spreads into everything that we are and everything that we do and everything that we think and act and how we respond to every circumstance. And yes, it doesn't mean we do it perfectly. We do it imperfectly perfect. For we are divinely perfect, divinely innocent, divinely aligned with truth. And we have our human experiences in the midst of it, but we can engage those in ways that lift and uplift not only ourselves, but others. And we'll talk a little bit about how the unity of way of life simplifies, clarifies, and uplifts us. And I look forward to sharing this Sunday message with you because it is one that has profoundly impacted our board during our retreat and our way of being with one another, of opening up to what our message, our path is, our priorities are as a ministry. And it's a way of life that has impacted all of our lives individually, that have come to the unity message, that have come to experience something greater and embrace this unity way of life. I am delighted to be on the path with each of you on this sacred journey and living the unity way of life. Let's share together at a Sunday celebration service at 10:30 a.m., Unity Bay Area, Houston, Highway 3 South, League City, Texas. We look forward to sharing with you in person or on our Facebook or YouTube channels, which are, of course, Unity Bay Area, Houston. May this day bless you. May you find that the unity way of life brings you to a greater sense of freedom, inner freedom, and outer expression that brings freedom into the world. God bless you, friends. See you soon.